Viceroy, I don't want this stunted slime in my sight again. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Folks, I've got a use for Wat. So, as a community, I know that we've been through a bit of an uproar lately, to say the least. We've been struggling a little bit. CG made Vader worse. They made a few characters worse. Wat is worse. Thrawn is worse, and it sucks. It's not fun. I personally don't like it. I know that I've been advocating a little bit for the idea of just like moving on, and I still think that that's wise. We need to just move on as a community. I mean, maybe there's something to be gained by just laying on the floor and kicking our feet. I'm not sure, but I do know that for me, I wanna get to the business of finding good team comps that are gonna win. I want to look at our future rather than the past, and so I mean, here's the truth of it, folks. So I liked Vader quite a bit. Previously, his utility is way lower, so that kind of frees up Wat and Thrawn, because Thrawn and Wat, they're kind of part of what make Vader cool, right? So I really do like Thrawn and Wat quite a bit. I like Vader. He doesn't necessarily need them or even want them anymore. Like his merciless massacre against Night Sisters is nice because of Thrawn being able to, Wat being able to help him ignore life, have him ignore regen, and that's pretty cool. That's just fine, but it's they're not as good together. We'll just say that, guys. Unfortunately, they're just not as good together. And so Wat can be used. And a lot of people have been saying like, oh, I'm just going to put him on defense now. We can put Wat on defense and we'll just do all sorts of cool stuff now with Wat, because he still has his taunt assignment and everything. So he's not all the way bad. But here's the thing. I think that there's some good use on offense still. We're missing that defense stuff. We absolutely are. The defense down, the ignore defense rather. We are missing it for Vader. I'm not trying to excuse that, but I think the thing that a lot of people are missing, and it's frustrating me, people are just saying Wat is worthless now, and at least I found one use for him. Today I fought in GAC and it was a pretty tough fight. Guy placed a lot of good teams on defense. Things went a little sideways. I'll let you guys see that video in a day or two, but it forced me to kind of innovate, and when I realized that this team was going to work, it was pretty exciting. So Nute, guys, in 3v3, we've been calling him GL Nute, Galactic Legend Nute, because in 3v3, 5v5 it doesn't matter, but 3v3, man, he's the big kid on the playground. Really, like he's really good. He's like the third grader who wanders over to the first and second graders playground in elementary school. Like I remember back in the day when I was a kid, and we'd be menaced with that every once in a while. We'd have a third grader, and it was like he's like King Yertle, the turtle, like king of all that he sees. Like, yes sir, thank you sir, and that's Nute. Really, and like Nute with Jango and B1 is a menace, and it's tough to deal with them in 3v3, and Wat does some pretty cool stuff here. So let's get to the video. I'll play it a couple different times, and then we can talk about implications. Shall we? Alright, so full disclosure, folks, we've got this team works pretty nicely, but this was, well, like I said, I've only tested it once. I wanted to get this out there because I'm pretty sure it's gonna just work, and 3v3 is kind of starting to wane. I want to get some more information out there right away, but here's the other thing, guys. I think that there's other ways to optimize it. First off, I think Fives as lead is going to be better just because it makes him a better target. Not a better target, but makes that team harder to take out. He's gonna make him more resilient. And Rex, even though you're missing out on his turn meter gain, he's not getting crit that much anyways. He's not getting, like, B1 is doing the damage, and then Jango is doing damage. So Also, want to point out that this was maybe like my 6th attempt on this team. I was trying to kill B1, couldn't find the right team to do it until I was finally like, oh, I think this team is gonna work. So I jumped in. Obviously, we need to optimize things, but that's kind of the stage. So Jango, Nute, and B1, well, B1 doesn't matter, but the other two are going in a turn meter order that are maybe a little bit different than you'll see, or their cooldowns were different. So just full disclosure, the idea is you put the tank tech on Fives, because Fives is super tanky and we all have to have him at relic 5-ish at least to be able to do the Kiadi Mundi mission. And then Rex you're going to want at, I don't know, some relic levels. I forget if mine is at 3 or at 5. I think I put him to 5 for the Rancor actually at some point, but like I said, I think that Fives is actually pretty decent as the lead, because Rex is already giving his team turn meter from his special, and that weapons tech, every time an opponent goes, he's gaining 15% turn meter there. So if he's already reasonably fast, he's going to do well. So the one thing, of course, that's scary is if Jango, he can click on Rex and just delete him, or at least try to delete him. Fives will sacrifice himself. It'll make Rex more vulnerable, but it'll give him a little bit of time. Now, here's the beauty of it, guys. Jango is out of damage immunity. We have Rexecute available, and so it's like, oh cool, we'll kill Jango once and then we'll just do it again. But the answer is different. We have the weapons tech. It's not ignore defense, but Rexecute doesn't really care about that. It also denies the ability to come back to life, denies that revive, and so Jango just goes away. And now you can give yourself more turn meter. You can just keep working on B1 because you do high volume of attacks with clones. Fives is obviously getting turn meter every time they're taking turns and doing damage. So Fives is taking a lot of turns, even though he's pretty slow, trying to heal Rex. And actually, it's kind of nice when you pay extortion with Rex or Fives, you actually heal a little bit. So that's kind of nice. Kind of a perk to extortion, I guess you might say. And then Nute has 2 lives as well. And that's what makes this team so strong, folks, is the fact that Jango and Nute, here, let's play it again. If we can actually click the button. So that's part of what makes it so strong. So you can't do damage to Jango initially. You can't do damage to Nute initially, not usually anyways, because if you kill him, he just goes into stealth, and then he gets a bonus turn, and it just offsets everything. 3v3, it is so tough to keep up with all the extortions. Nute's taking a million turns. He's speeding up. If you don't pay it, he's speeding the whole team up. He's calling people to assist. It's psycho. 5v5 he has much less impact, but 3v3 it's very tricky to beat this team, at least if it's well modded. And everyone who is getting the 2 latest Galactic Legends, which I realize isn't everyone, but eventually everyone is going to have a Relic 7 Jango and Nute, and at least in my neighborhood that's the case. So and even at Gear 12 this team can be decent. And then the third part of this team is you can't just kill B1 because of a lot of damage. You have to do a certain amount of hits on him. So it's a mess. But Rex doesn't care about the weapons tech. He just doesn't really. I mean, he doesn't care about the damage, the defense ignore, because his Rexecute does so much damage anyways. Now, I'm sure that you could use another combo. Like Crew would probably be fine here with Fox or something, but I like Rex here, honestly, and I like Five's lead more and more the more I think about it. So, I mean, I think this team is going to work. Of course, the biggest scare is, can Jango just one-shot Rex? Maybe he can. We need to look into that for sure. And obviously, this isn't as well tested as I normally would like to do, because this is, I'm trying to get this out to you guys early as I can. There we go. Sorry about that. Get stuck behind that silly intro. So, anyways, folks, Wat is diminished. Absolutely. 100%. I'll be the first to agree. I mean, it's like It's like CG asked him if he was okay with the nerfs, and he's like, no, no. But what they heard was because he couldn't tune his little chest piece things. Like he just got screwed. He got punked, and it's sad. It's unfortunate, but he still got use, guys. And why should we ignore that? Why should we just shove him off to the side? I mean, a team. Sure, people like to use Rex and 5s with Barris or whatever on defense, but that gets soloed all the time. There's a couple different teams, like OG Kylo solos that, actually, if you know what you're doing. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please, actually, if you wouldn't mind, just leaving a like, or if you haven't done it yet, sub to the channel. Maybe leave a comment. Would really appreciate that. We're trying to mount the algorithm. That's what we're trying for, and it's working, actually. We're huge influx of people lately. I know that a lot of it is due to my collab with Arnold recently. Arnold, hugely beneficial, obviously, to this channel. But before that, even, we were getting a lot of views, a lot more traffic to this site. So if you want to support the channel for free, those are things you can do. Really appreciate it, guys. One last thing, and I meant to do this at the start, so I need to do it right now. Thank you all so much to my patrons. You guys are amazing. You make testing possible. You make all of my different production value improvements possible that you've seen throughout the last couple years. You guys are amazing. I truly couldn't do this without you, and I really appreciate it. So, with that said, folks, thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth, and not Nute, prevail.